The movie opens up with a voiceover telling us about the Earth at the time of the dinosaurs and how a 3 miles white asteroid hit the planet with a force of 10,000 nuclear weapons. It created a dust blanket around the whole planet thick enough that the sun was unable to penetrate that cloud for almost 1,000 years. The voiceover ends with a warning saying it has happened in the past and it will happen again. Then the scene shifts to the present time where Space Shuttle Atlantis is on a mission in space and the astronauts are doing some repairs on a space satellite. All of a sudden, a massive meteor shower hits the space shuttle, killing all the astronauts, destroying the shuttle and the satellite within a matter of seconds. After destroying the shuttle, it hurtles into the Earth's atmosphere. At Pentagon Space Command, the meteors appear on the radar and are thought to be a surprise missile attack, raising warning alarms. Pilots run towards the fighting jets to counter that attack. At Houston, mission in charge Dan Truman divides his team into 3 groups for investigation of malfunction, accident and other causes. An astronomer named Carl discovers an asteroid in the sky. The meteors hit multiple places in the US, including New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, Moncton, Halifax, and Newfoundland, unleashing a devastating onslaught, killing a lot of people and destroying the skyline of these cities. General Kimsey calls Dan Truman asking him about the incident and whether it is over now or it will continue, and Truman tells him that once he finds out, he will let him know. Carl calls NASA telling Truman about the asteroid and its coordinates. The NASA moves Hubble telescope in the direction of the coordinates to take snapshots of the asteroid, which is huge, roughly the size of Texas state. These meteors were propelled out of the asteroid belt due to a collision involving a rogue comet, and now this colossal asteroid is on a collision course with Earth. Dan informs the president about the asteroid heading for Earth and tells him that it will cause a total loss of life on Earth, and not even the bacteria can survive once it collides with Earth. From its trajectory and velocity, NASA figures out that it will hit the planet in 18 days. Then the scene shifts to an oil drilling rig where some protesters are shouting to stop the drilling, and Harry Stamper, the owner of the rig, is ridiculing them. Chick, an employee of Harry, informs him that the number 2 drill last night drilled for 180 feet, which pisses off Harry, and he goes after AJ Frost, who he thinks has done this. He reaches AJ's cabin and scolds him for doing that and asks him if in future he would have his own rig. He can do whatever stupid stuff he wants, but as long as he is his employee, he wants him to follow his instructions and asks him to apologize for his action, and AJ immediately apologizes, which raises suspicion in his mind, and then he finds his daughter Grace lying there under the blanket. Harry asks AJ to stay there and goes to get a gun to shoot AJ. AJ runs to save his life, and Harry keeps on shooting at him, causing him to get injured by the flying debris. In the meantime, Truman calls a meeting of his team discussing different options to deflect the asteroid, and they don't seem to find a reasonable solution, which pisses him off. Back on the rig, Harry has an argument with Grace, who tells him that he cannot control her life like this, and Harry asks her to leave the rig and go back to office. On the other side, the military officials have a meeting with NASA officials to discuss the plans to avoid this catastrophe. Truman tells them that none of their primary plans are workable. General Kimsey suggests sending up nuclear weapons to destroy the asteroid, upon which a NASA scientist Ronald Quincy tells him that it's a bad idea. He explains to him that hitting the asteroid on its surface will do no damage to it, but rather we have to put nuclear weapons inside it to destroy it. He suggests that we bring in drillers to drill a hole in the asteroid and put a nuclear weapon inside to blow it up. On the rig, the drill gets out of control due to swift drilling done by AJ, which Harry rectifies with great difficulty, and he fires AJ. Then a military chopper reaches the rig, and some military personnel ask Harry to come with them to NASA. Harry takes Grace with him as well. At NASA's office, Truman tells Harry about the oncoming asteroid, which deeply saddens him. He asks Truman as to why they have called him, and Truman tells him that he needs to prep a team of the astronauts for drilling. NASA will send them up and they will drill a hole in the asteroid and drop nukes in there to destroy it. Also, he needs to fix a drilling machine which NASA was prepping for the Mars project. Harry recognizes the rig as this is his design. Truman asks him if he can fix the drill, and Harry immediately finds out the fault as the NASA team has assembled the drill in a wrong manner. Truman shows him the team who will be operating that drill in on the asteroid. Harry asks Truman that if they need to do this job properly, he needs to bring in his own team. He is the best in the field because he works with the best. Truman accepts his condition and dispatches teams to find Harry's crew members and bring them to NASA. The NASA teams find Max at his home, Rockhound in a bar, Oscar on his ranch, Chick in a casino, and Bear on a highway with his bike. Harry himself goes to bring in AJ, who is working on a rig. He refuses to come first, but when Harry tells him that the job he is asking him to come for is not on this planet. This gets AJ excited, and he agrees to join. When the whole team reaches NASA, Harry tells them about the asteroid, and they all get sad. Harry asks them all if they are willing to do this job. The whole team agrees to do the job, but has certain conditions which they want fulfilled, like having their tickets wiped off, getting Noonan's two girls the American citizenship, letting them know who killed Kennedy, and Bear wanting to stay at Lincoln's bedroom in the White House, and none of them want to pay taxes ever again. This pisses off General Kimsey a lot. After this, the team is taken for medical examination and a psychological evaluation, which the whole team fails in. Truman asks the doctor if they can physically survive the tests, and the doctor is not sure about it, but ultimately, the team is approved by NASA, having no other option. Next, the Air Force pilot Willie Sharp starts training them for dealing with physical rigors of working in space. The team here is introduced to X-71, the space shuttle which will be flying up to the asteroid. Then the team is trained underwater and for flying in a jet plane. Next comes the training for the vehicle called Armadillo, which the team will be riding on the asteroid, and then the spacesuits. Truman then tells the team about the flight plan. He also tells the team that they must blow up the asteroid before it passes the zero barrier, and if they fail to do so, the asteroid will hit the Earth even after blowing up. After the training is complete, the team goes for one last night out before they leave for the mission. Harry meets Grace before leaving, and he makes her a promise that he will come back. Finally comes the moment when the team leaves for the mission. The 14 members of the team are split into two groups riding two shuttles named Freedom and Independence. Both the shuttles lift off and start their journey towards space. Everything goes smoothly, and both the shuttles reach the Russian space station for refueling. The cosmonaut in the RSS is above there for 18 months and is not doing very good. Both shuttles dock with the RSS and start refueling. While refueling, the fuel in the RSS starts leaking, causing fuel lever to jam, which causes a fire breakout in the RSS. Both the teams rush back to their respective shuttles and try to undock the shuttles. AJ and the Russian cosmonaut get stuck in RSS. The pilot of the shuttle wants to detach the shuttle from RSS and leave immediately without AJ, but Harry stops him from doing that. Finally, both AJ and the Russian cosmonaut reach the shuttle, and the RSS explodes immediately after the shuttles detach from it. The shuttles continue their journey towards the asteroid, having a gravity assist from the moon, reaching behind the asteroid, traveling at a speed of 22,500 miles an hour. The asteroid has a lot of tail debris, so they turn on their FOD radars to avoid a collision. While navigating through the debris, the shuttle Independence is hit by a huge rock and crashes on the asteroid, while the shuttle Freedom lands on the asteroid but overshoots its landing field by 26 miles, and its communications system is fried due to a rough landing. The second pilot of Freedom goes to start the backup generators to restore communication. Rockhound analyzes and tells the team that their shuttle has landed on iron ferrite, which is very hard to drill into. On Independence, AJ, Bear and Russian cosmonaut survive the crash, but Oscar and Noonan die. The pilot of Freedom tries to establish communication while the team preps for the drilling. Finally, the team starts drilling, but the drill head breaks after drilling just for 10 feet. The pilot of Freedom finally succeeds in establishing a communication link with and tells them that we have landed safely. In the meantime, AJ, Bear and the Russian astronaut Lev Andropov ride the armadillo and get out of the shuttle and start traveling towards the site of the other shuttle. In the meantime, the Freedom team continues the drilling. In Houston, the scientists find out that after passing near the moon, the asteroid has started tumbling due to moon's gravity, and in a few minutes, they may never be able to communicate with the shuttles due to this problem and may not be able to remote detonate the nuke due to radio darkness. General Kimsey tells them that he needs to inform the president about this. The Freedom team is way behind the drilling schedule. This causes an argument between Harry and Willie, which is seen on monitors, and then communication is lost again. After a while, General Kimsey gets a call from the president and is ordered to override the system and remote detonate the nuke before they lose the radio link to the bomb. Dan tries to convince General Kimsey that if he remote detonates the bomb, he will lose the bomb and the one chance to save the planet. On the asteroid, Colonel Willie Sharp takes out a gun from a safe while General Kimsey remotely starts the countdown on the nuke. Watching the countdown begin, Harry calls Colonel Sharp and asks him to stop the nuke, but Colonel Sharp's asks them all to prepare for evacuation. Dan secretly asks one of his team members, kill the uplink. Colonel Willie pulls out the gun at Harry while in the meantime, Wassler is able to kill the uplink and the nuke stops ticking. Harry and Colonel Willie have a fight and Harry subdues Colonel Willie. General Kimsey's team asks Wassler to leave his terminal and they establish the uplink again, restarting the countdown. Harry convinces Colonel Willie to stop the bomb. They open up the nuke and cut the wire which stops the nuke again. The communication link is re-established via a Russian satellite and Harry tells them that they are going to complete the mission and the teams restarts the drilling. All of a sudden comes a quake on the asteroid which causes the drill to blow up and Max is killed. But at this point the Independence team reaches the site and they all shout with joy. The team restarts the drilling and succeeds in drilling up to 800 feet. Another quake hits the asteroid which damages the nuke and it can't be remote detonated anymore and someone has to stay on the asteroid to detonate the bomb. The team draws straws to decide who will stay behind and AJ draws the short straw. Harry goes down with him to see him off but pushes him back in the elevator and locks it, indicating that he will stay behind. Harry asks AJ to take care of Grace and sends him up. The team leaves the asteroid, but another quake hits the asteroid causing Harry to lose the detonator, but he finally gets a hold of the detonator and press it just before the asteroid reaches the zero barrier, detonating the nuke and spitting the asteroid in two chunks, which fly by Earth on both sides at a distance of 400 miles, saving the planet. The surviving members of the team land on Earth and meet their loved ones. The celebration begins and they are welcomed by people with great excitement. Colonel Willie meets Grace and requests to shake the hand of the daughter of the bravest person he has ever met. AJ gives the shoulder badge of Harry to Truman, saying that Harry asked me to give it to you, and movie ends here.